Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again on the progress of another painting, number 3 for 2015, which is called the Rebirth Painting, containing the Rainbow Serpent and White Cockatoos. So this is where we're up to so far. I'm in the studio on a Thursday afternoon. And ready to tackle this again. So, as you can see, I am now doing some more dot and line work. So today what I'll be doing is I've done the line and the dot on each right hand side of the middle squiggly orange lines. So now I want to do the outline and the dot on the right hand side of each squiggly line. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So the colours I'll be needing are unbleached titanium, Series 1 Matisse, and the other colour will be Burgundy Series 2 in the Matisse. So when you're doing your paintings, sometimes it's good just to use, what you have lying around as palettes, or even vegetable trays such as these, small or large ones you can get when you're using for the vegetables. You can use those, which will save you a lot of money. Okay, and the brush I'll be using today, these are all my brushes that I've been using on this painting. So today what I'll use is not that one. I'll use number 1 in the Galliard Winsor & Newton. So let's get this started. So I'll start off with the unbleached titanium line. So this line work will also highlight and strengthen not only the colour in the middle, but also the dot work around it. birds are currently outside at the moment, soaking up the sun, as was I at lunchtime before we started painting again. Okay. And the unbleached titanium is a good colour if you don't want to use white. Bleached titanium is a good alternative to that white if you don't so much like the bright white. As there is a huge difference between the unbleached titanium and the white, as you can see. You know, this is the white here, and that's the unbleached titanium, the lines that we're doing at the moment. These Gallia, Winsor and Newton brushes are really excellent for line work and dot work, and is probably actually my favourite brushes. And they're actually very good, especially if you don't apply too much pressure and you just allow the brush and the bristles to work for you. So I definitely recommend their brushes. Now, I think to go over this outline again to bring it out so you can clearly see everything. All the detail of this. To be honest, there's actually going to be a lot of energy going on in this painting. So the dots and line work can be very good for navigating your way through. Although at times, especially when creating the painting, you can become so engrossed in the painting that it's actually hard to decipher between some of the lines and dots that you're doing, because it's actually a pattern to you. pattern that is connected to energy and emotion and learning. So with this particular painting, it represents the transformation within your soul, and which is dominating your life, that you are wanting to break free from. So a rebirth of yourself and being aware of it can be very beneficial to your spiritual progress. So that's what this painting is showing us and teaching us and bringing forth to us. So just have faith in the process and allow yourself to be understanding of the process and patient. So this is the second video of the rebirth painting, and as you all know, especially those who've been following, that I'll be doing a sped up video of each painting that I do this year, especially this one, which is what I'm working on at the moment. So then, for those that don't have time to watch, can just see how the process of it was done. For those of you who've been asking about the paint brushes and the paints, I will do a video just on that very soon. But even though I do have favourite brushes, I'm still experimenting. Even after all this time, I'll still have the ones that I really use over and over again. But I still experiment as well. So this is looking very good so far. And we're just about finished this line work. So I hope everyone's been having a great week. It's now autumn here in Australia, although it's still feeling a bit like summer, because we didn't really have a summer here in Orange, New South Wales. So very pleased with that. I think that I may have done those two already. Okay. So let's just a little bit on there. Okay, so the line work is all done, and now, as you can see, clearer. Now I see how the dot work is only done on this side. Now I want to go and do the dot work on the right hand side. Now that the line work is done on the burgundy. So we use the number 1 gallier again. And start. Okay, let's get this started. Okay, it's my little dance for the day. So bring this over here. I've decided to change my brushes to the Rainbow number 1. Because the brush is a bit thinner and I want to create a smaller dot, so that just gives me the perfect size dot that I'm looking for with that brush, with this brush. So yeah, still load your brush up because it depends on the amount of pressure that you put on to what size dot that you create, that you need. And I was taught from an old friend of mine to do it like this. Just been the best way so far then. The skewer. See, when I first started out, back doing this series, the idea that came about, I think it was around 2012. The very first painting that I did was done in skewer, with a skewer, and this is what it looks like. See, in the background. See, when you look up close, how you can actually see that each dot is exactly the same size. So yeah, that was done with the skewer. That was my very first painting that I did in the series. There'll be 44 together, but so this is number 15. So I learned a lot along the way. So let's continue doing this dot work. And I'm grateful for how much I've been learning and being able to share with everyone. Also, when I started out at TAFE, New South Wales, which is a learning institute in Australia, for those that don't know, and that are in other countries. And if you want to learn more about art, TAFE is a really good way to do that, because doesn't require as much information, as much money as a university. That way, if you're not that serious about it, you won't waste your money. But that way, if you are, then you can continue on and eventually plan to go to university. But there's not a lot of the teaching shows you how to, the techniques and how to apply what you've learnt through a gallery and approaching a gallery. But I have approached galleries, and I did do it all the way that was being taught, which is still being taught now. But to be honest, I did a small business course in 2010, so I could just do it my own way, and so I could go into business for myself. But you see, previous to doing all that in 2010, I had been in retail. I had been a cultural arts teacher first, and before that I was in retail for about 14 years. So I really understood the retail market. So I didn't want to just appeal to people in galleries, but I wanted to appeal to everyday people and find a way that I could reach them through my own ways. families, friends, and just in any possible situation that you may be in that enables you to showcase your works. But I must say I did all the things. I did all the foundational things and everything that, because in order to succeed in what you are doing, especially if you do it long enough, that it's best to understand all the ways and all the usual ways to reach people, like in galleries and such. I like to be able to understand my customers, and I like to have interaction with my customers. And actually, this is what I enjoy the most about doing my work, is the interaction with other people. So if I have my work in a gallery, like, you know, after you've done your body of work, I must admit, yes, it is important to have yourself marketed in the gallery. But let's not forget, it's not just a gallery. It's not just a gallery that you need to market yourself. There's other areas, there's other ways, there's hotels, there's, other ways you can market your stuff. There's shopping centres, there's so many other, there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of other ways. It's not just one way, it's actually many different ways, and it depends on you as an individual which way you want to go with it. You may want to showcase your work through a bank, or you may want to showcase your work in a shop, in a everyday retail shop, like for everyday consumers. So, once you get yourself to a point where you've tried many things, you've done the galleries, and you've done a lot of things, then that's a good time to experiment. That's a good time to then think of innovative ways that you can present your works to places. So, especially once you have all the fun, especially once you've done the foundation, especially when you've done the foundation of your techniques and presented your work in galleries. I must admit, that a lot of artists just have one major gallery that will represent them and promote them and market them. Because I had the 14 years worth of retail experience, I thought to myself, then I don't need a gallery, I can represent myself, I can do this myself, I can do this independently. So these are my ideas, and these were my thinking. This was my thinking. And let's not forget though that if you go outside the usual ways, that sometimes you have to have a lot more patience in what you do. And there's still the everyday stuff. Once you stick at it long enough, then you start to see benefits. So it's not about, if you go outside the usual ways, you've got to remember that you're going to be up against a lot of challenges, so keep that in mind. It's not the easiest road. And no way is it the better road either, so because you don't get as much support like you would from a gallery. So all the support you have to generate yourself through networking with other people, communicating with other people, really putting yourself out there, basically, for people to understand and to relate to what you do. And that can be the most challenging. That can be the most challenging thing to do, being an artist, because you paint because of your need, of your desire and need to want to communicate yourself in the world. So it can be a very daunting thing then being able to do that again, for people to understand you, for people to be able to invest in you. So keeping all that in mind, it's a big job, and it may not be for everyone. I know as a fact it's not for everyone. It's not for a lot of artists. So, lucky for me, I like to challenge myself in doing things differently and paving the way for a better place for myself, a better structure and a better studio and a better way for me to be able to create my paintings and for me to be able to put them in ways, innovative ways for people in the world that can have access to them, and it's not just for people that want to buy the paintings, but it's for also everyday people that want to have access to the knowledge in a more affordable way, in a more practical way, in a more practical use. So there's many ideas attached to the knowledge of these paintings, not only in the way that they're being painted, but also in the way that they're being presented to the world. They will be presented to the world next year in a travelling exhibition show, but also they will be offered in two mainly different products for people that want to have access to the knowledge in a practical, everyday form. So I think it's important when you want to create a body of work that you really understand the ideas that go into them and why you want to be doing them and what benefit does it bring to people. What benefit does it bring to you in doing it? What are you learning from doing it? What are other people learning from doing it? When you understand what it's doing for yourself, you'll understand what it's doing for other people. So, and for me, it's very much being able to teach people the knowledge that I learned through my soul lessons in presenting these paintings, because each one has been a lesson for me that I'm able to be able to share with other people that then relates to them in their own way. So I think this is something that's very positive And something as big as this requires a lot of energy, a lot of determination, and a lot of time, and a lot of work actually. So and remember, nothing ever happens overnight. It requires you to continue, even in the most harshest conditions, you must continue doing what you love to do, continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to find and fight for new ways for you to understand and for you to live a life that best suits you in the way that brings light to others. Especially understanding something that requires a lot of understanding from within. Because in the outside world, we must admit that there is many distractions that can sway us from our path. So you have to be focused, you have to be determined, and you have to fight more than anything for what you want. And it's not going to be easy. You can't expect everything to be handed to you on a silver platter. So we're almost finished now, and then we'll end the video and I'll continue again in another one after this. So I hope you enjoyed our time together today. Mirree will be back again soon for the next part of this painting. But try to remember what it is. Try to remember what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to achieve, what it is that makes your heart sing, what it is that burns the light in your soul. What it is that gives meaning and brings light to your life. I like to be able to share knowledge with others. I like to be able to present my ideas to the world in a way that people really understand and can learn and grow from it and connect to it in a way that helps them to grow. Especially for those on the spiritual path that wants to understand more knowledge about themselves, and for those Aboriginal people that want to understand more about them, about their culture, they want to learn more about how they can understand their culture, understand the ways in which keeps the culture alive, and that is there for future generations to come. So let's let's have a look at what it looks like now that the dots and the line work has been done. Let's have a look at it. So now it's being lifted and the dots and all the dots around the middle lines have been done. So stay tuned for the next part 3 video of the rebirth painting. How exciting is that? Probably one of the most powerful paintings I've done yet for this year, with just so much movement and energy, you know, for a new beginning and a fresh start for the year. So stay tuned with me on my website, which is www.dreamsofcreation.com. Come and visit me on my Facebook page and read about my journey, which is on Artworks by Mirree, Mirree. Catch up with you soon and have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.